Hello everybody, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV.
Hey sir, a Paraguay.
It's a Paraguay shirt, yeah.
Yeah. Photo. Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Look. Oh no,
Oh, Mickey, yeah.
Almiro.
Yeah.
You like him?
Yeah, he's decent.
I was at the game in Atlanta when he scored.
Yeah, my friend. That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Miguel Almiron, yeah.
Mira.
Do you remember Diego Gavilan?
What the
Gavilan?
heck did you just say? Like, I don't know. That was not English.
Diego Gavilan from the
He played for
net.
Newcastle.
Bobby Robson signed him. He wasn't very good. He's Paraguayan though.
Yeah.
You remember him? Just wasn't very good, that was all.
Yeah.
There's only 2 Paraguayans to play for us.
Oh my God.
Mickey,
Confused your English, man.
Oh, Geordie accent.
Like,
Geordie
always,
accent.
like always.
Well, I'm from Newcastle.
You're from
Newcastle.
Yeah, if you speak a little bit lower, pausing,
I've got that all the
I
time.
can understand.
Even the Americans can't understand us, so you're not the only one, so don't worry.
Nobody else in America understand you.
Take a photo, right? Okay. Let's get in. I'll hold that up, Steve. This is the last one.
Yeah.
This is the last word, baby.
That English is so like close, man. I confused. Sorry, my
Right,
bad.
champion.
No, pleasure.
Guys.
Right, thank you, sorry.
Good night. Vamos Paraguay.
Vamos.
Right, have a good night.
You too, man.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Right, thank you.
Sorry, I don't understand your English.
Ah, it's fine, don't worry, don't worry. Not many people can understand the Geordies. Right, where were we, Steve? Right, okay. Cheers. So, yeah, that was, I nearly said that was the last word. I haven't even started yet. My head is all over the place. Very little sleep, as you've seen the bus journey. He's high as a kite. If you haven't seen the match reaction, if you haven't seen the vlog, it's all about this guy. He's off his tits. But just go and have a look at him, you'll see what I mean. But we'll try and dissect the game a little bit. So we eventually got here after our journey, and we got in the Red Bulls. I've been telling everyone around us it's very much a British feel to it because it's built like a British stadium. What was your thoughts of the stadium?
It was nice, man. It's what we call in the United States, get ready, S word, a soccer-specific stadium. And to be honest, that's what we, to advance the game in this nation, we need more of them because they actually have grass and not turf. And, that whole debate, for me, it's like grass all the way. But, yeah, it is a nice stadium. There's not a bad seat in the house. There really isn't. So, good ground, man. Good ground. And it was pretty packed, to be honest. It took a little bit for everybody to come in. But, yeah, I thought, good crowd.
Yeah, it's a decent team. I've been here before. I was here 4 years ago watching Chicago Fire versus the Red Bulls. But yeah, we'll get into it. We knew there was going to be changes. We talked about this on the bus on the way up. We knew that a lot of players that featured in Atlanta weren't going to heavily feature. Really only Nick Pope and Lewis Miley. But apart from that, it was a totally different side. It almost felt like it was not a reserve side, but
a reserve team plus Bruno Guimaraes, Pope, Wilson,
Harvey
Murphy, Barnes.
Probably only 3 or 4 of them start.
And then our backup center backs, obviously Lascelles and Paul Dummett.
Yeah, so probably only
Target.
3 or 4 of them start the first game of the season against Aston Villa. Yeah. But that was the lineup, and it's difficult to break down that game, I feel, a little bit, because it's a friendly. We've got to remember that. I mean, you don't think it's a friendly. You think it's the World Cup towards the end for you, like we won a trophy. But look, I thought Brighton probably were the better side in the first half. You can see, like, De Zerbi, the style of football, no matter who's the personnel, what they're trying to achieve, and we didn't really create enough, did we? Really, in that first half.
No, and especially not. I'm just talking about Brighton real quick, like you said. We saw that. I've seen them play 3 times. All 3 times, I was very impressed with them. Estupiñán in particular, who Lee would want as our left back option. Phenomenal player. I think defensively he's very, very good. Going forward, picking up the right positions. He's done very, very well. Mitoma had the assist, obviously, for the first goal too. It was very well done. He carved up Ashby, to be honest, there. But yeah, Brighton were the better team. There's no doubt in my mind for the first about 80 minutes.
And then, obviously, not much really happened. It was a pretty dull, I felt, first half. We came back out. There wasn't any changes straight away until what was it, the hour mark, there was 1 or 2. But you talked about that goal. It's poor, isn't it? It's a cross shot, and Pope gets a little bit of a touch on it, and Dummett just has his feet all over the place, and easy to tap in.
Easy tap in for Welbeck, but you know what? This is what he's been doing for Brighton, man. I mean, say what you want about him, but he plays a lot of games for Brighton, and he usually scores goals too. And right place, right time again. And like I said, Mitoma there, he carved up Ashby, who I thought had an all right first half, to be honest. There were some moments, especially on that. It was towards our side on the left from what we were watching, and it would be the same on the TV. First half, he cut in, made a really nice defensive intervention. But, yeah, definitely Mitoma carved him up there. But you know what? The thing is that Brighton had another chance or two to score, and they didn't. And, we all know what happens next.
Yeah, and obviously, as I said, there was a lot of changes. Eddie Howe was saying that already he knew that there was going to be a change, obviously, from Atlanta, but a lot of the kids started coming on as well. The first one was obviously Lewis Miley, who has had a really good pre-season. So is Elliot Anderson, which we'll talk about him in a second. And obviously there was a few chances either way. And I felt like there was signs that Brighton, we were high pressing. In the second half, there was signs that Brighton were just a little bit scared. No, I wouldn't say scared. We were high pressing, forced them into mistakes. And it was a thing that we should have scored, basically. When who was it? It was
Stevens.
No, it wasn't. It was Dylan Stevenson's not here, man. It was Wilson squared it to Anderson.
Sorry, yes.
And then the keeper saves it, and that has to go in. That was one of the first 2 or 3 chances that Brighton were being lazy at the back. I thought that might come back and hold them. Loads of changes, but then again, you're fresh. So maybe it's that in this heat as well. It's hard to play in this heat because even we're struggling. And under 21, Ben Parkinson had a great chance, very similar to Anderson. Needs to just take his time, but he doesn't. He rushes it. I thought we ended the game much better. And I thought we were going to get beat 1-0 because I said to you, didn't I? Howe's just basically not accepted, but he's chucked on all the kids. The results are relevant. But no, we got an equaliser, didn't we?
Yeah, well, like Lee said, he told me the result didn't matter anyhow. I'm telling you what, them kids that he put out there, that was not the message coming across. The performance, poetry in motion, man. That mattered to them. That mattered to them to make an impression and to turn the game around. And we did. And my God, I mean, it's another poor goal, really, though, isn't it? It was scored. Don't get me wrong. It was opportunistic.
It was similar to their goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was opportunistic because we caught him at the right time, and we finished our dinner really, really well.
What kind of dinner?
I mean, we're in New York, so you got to go with some New York thin slice pizza.
I knew you would say pizza.
Pizza. Yeah.
You brought some what did you bring? Pretzels. That was it. Which looked like a curved dog shit. You'll see that in the vlog earlier. Sorry if you haven't seen it. But we weren't finished there. We thought the game was just going to die out as a draw because we've drawn every game, but no. And he went absolutely wild. We're in a fairly quiet area. I would probably describe it. We're not in behind the goal with all the fans. We could have easily walked round, don't get me wrong. We're in a fairly quiet area, and oh no, he doesn't think it's quiet. Tops are off, swinging, he's screaming. I mean, check the vlog out, but that moment for you loved that moment, didn't you?
Again, another one of the best days of my life, and that is sincere. It's only a friendly, but context, people. It's my first ever time watching Newcastle United play at a really, nice stadium, 3 different throughout the U.S., and it's stuff I'll never forget. It's stuff I'll never forget. Just like how
was that coach journey worth it last night?
Yes.
Today. Sorry.
Yes, today and yesterday technically. 18 whole hours. It was worth it. I would do it again and again and again to have those kind of moments again. That's just the kind of stuff you don't forget. Brilliant goal. Again, another opportunistic. Those kids just all came on. Press. And before that also, Nick Pope made a huge save to his left as well. That won us a point and then some. So, man, one of the guys we were talking to after the match, he said, the team has heart. The squad has heart, all of them. Some of them might not be good enough, or they're good enough now, but maybe not later, some of the future. But what you can say about pretty much all the guys is they've got heart, they've got grit. Like Eddie Howe's philosophy, intensity, you see it in all of them.
It is the kids they want to be part of this because a lot of them are local. A lot of them want to be involved in the Champions League. They want to be making their names at Newcastle rather than make their names down League One, League Two, and coming back up the leagues. But look, it was dramatic, and people say that Americans have got no passion. Again, check the vlog out because they do. They're all staying good 20 minutes after full time, half an hour. He was joining in the party as well, so they do have passion. It's just what the lack is a football club in their home city. That's the thing that they lack, and it's back over. What's it, 5,000, 4,000 miles away back in Newcastle. But we'll talk about the whole experience in a second, but I want to cut to Eddie Howe, who is still in there.
Yeah, pleased with the result. I think that was a really tough game for us. Brighton were excellent, as we knew they would be in possession, made it very difficult for us. Credit to the players because we had to really dig in that first half, and elements of the second half as well. I thought we were a counter-attack there and probably had the best chances in the game, but Brighton make it very difficult for you. Yeah, I thought genuinely, probably for the first 80 minutes he was quite quiet, but I thought we as a team struggled in possession a little bit today. We had players playing out of position and we were a little bit disjointed. I thought the last part of the game was a tribute to his fitness levels, really. I mean, the second goal, he's had to have the endurance and the speed to get onto the end of the Jacobs through ball and finished it brilliantly. So I think he's had a really good pre-season. I think he's probably looking the strongest physically that I've seen him. So, yeah, good signs for him. We've really enjoyed it. I think it's been intense. It's been hard work for all of us, I think, staff, players. But I think we've really enjoyed that aspect. The games have been high level. The arenas, the facilities have been high level as well. And I think we go back a much stronger group for this experience.
So Steve is getting yes, it was good, wasn't it? So Steve was getting a drink there. There was a couple of Newcastle fans going past. So that was Eddie Howe. So we won. We've seen, and let's not forget, this is 3. I said to you, didn't I, during the game? It's not just a relegation side. These are 3 top tier. I know Chelsea have had a bad season, but this season will be different. Brighton, fantastic. Unai Emery, different as well. There's been times where the defender's been suspect, yes. They've scored plenty of goals. In the heat as well. Remember, we're not used to this. You might be American, but we're not. We can't take this heat, and we're running around, shredding pounds, and we're scoring goals. We're entertaining, and the fan engagement, the stadiums, the travelling. I think I'll take memories away, but I think you'll probably take more away from it because you've not had this before.
Oh my God, for sure. Like, literally, it's life-changing stuff. And yeah, like Lee said, the Americans. We've got passion. We've got just sports fans in general. And this is just it's just an absolutely incredible experience. I don't know how more to elaborate on it, but yeah, it just hits, man. Especially doing it with you, man.
It's been good, isn't it?
Known you for years and years, and I finally met up with Jay in Atlanta.
Yeah, big shout out to Jay as well, and all the people that we've met the past week. It's 200, 300 people that we've met, and people coming up to it. And I've been stopped more times than I do in Newcastle this past week. Steve's been with me.
3 different cities you've been stopped around as well.
Yes, Steve's been with me. Steve's been somewhere at a different bar where someone's pulled me. It's most and it's nice, and then they say, look, we love what you do because we don't get that inside the stadium stuff. So that's why I think our channel, as well with Adam's as well, is really important for international viewers. So shout out to Adam because he did shout me out yesterday. Both of us have had a bit of drama the last 24 hours, I would say. But the whole experience then, would you do it again? Actually, no. Would you do it back in Newcastle? When are you coming to Newcastle?
I got to save up again. When did we find out that these fixtures were coming around? Probably about...
The Premier League fixtures are out.
No, I'm talking about when did me and you find out that they were coming to the US 7 months ago?
No, I think it was March. I got a bit of a heads up.
Okay, so March. So, you know what? I gotta renew my passport. I gotta find a ticket. That's the hardest part.
I think you should come over, Jay, in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Maybe you meet up in London, or you meet up in whatever, or you fly down there. There's a challenge for you, Jay, because I've had to put up a bid for a week. There's a challenge for you, Jay. Jay's like, nope, I won't be doing that. I told him off the other day. But look, we haven't finished. This might be the last video today. We've still got 4 videos stacked. I'm doing a couple of videos around Times Square as well because I don't fly until late Saturday US time, which I'll get back in the UK on Sunday in Manchester. and I miss my dog, I miss my family as well, so I need to get back home as well. But yes, Steve, it's been an absolute pleasure. You've got on me tits, you've wound me up, you've been annoying, you lose everything. Like this guy loses everything. We've talked football.
My sanity included, my sanity.
We've talked football, he puts on, we're walking the streets and he's got football on his mobile, he watches it in the hotels. Yeah, it's been an experience, and it's been, you know what, you've got passion. That's the thing I've seen tonight, and credit to you as well, because your football knowledge is right up there. Remember what Jay told you as well, use that to your advantage as well. So it's been absolutely brilliant with you, and everybody else as well who has watched as well. It sounds like we're getting all emotional, we're not. But that's it, that's the last word, everybody. But don't forget, we've got so much more from America which have already been filmed and to be filmed as well. From the Red Bull Arena. Says everyone, what's your name?